Hey everyone, my name is Sarah Arbour, and this is my city of China Grove, for our City Imagining project for Plan 6000, Section 601, Economic Development Seminar at ECU. So a little bit about my city. My city is called China Grove. It has a population of about 130,000 people and is located within the coastal plain region of North Carolina, which is, of course, in the southeastern region of the United States. Um, so as far as typical weather patterns go, it can be expected to be consistent with those in a humid subtropical climate, cool and mild winters, hot and humid summers. Majority of the city's rainfall would take place during the summer months with those heating of the day thunderstorms. Um, and the city sees about 200 days of sunlight per year on average. So we'll take a look at where a majority of the residential land uses are here within the city. So majority of the residential land uses are multifamily. Um, the idea behind that is that multifamily residential developments are more densely concentrated than the more sprawling single family uses take up more land. So this is a better use of land, which is of course valuable and not necessarily a renewable resource. So it can also diversifying the housing stock like that can be economical for families. The intent here was to kind of make this an equitable city. So what you'll find is that the multifamily residential is it is the majority of the residential that you'll find here in the city. But B, it's also located conveniently, along the greenway system here. So, these families who are living here within these multifamily um, developments, they don't necessarily have to be relying on an automobile if they don't want to be, or if they can afford one. They could certainly get on the greenway here and walk or bike to places of employment, such as Industrial Park down here, or they could go to some of the entertainment districts up here north by the river. And they're also conveniently located to much of the city's commercial uses, including big box stores and some smaller uses here, sort of on the interior. So the single family uses, there's two areas kind of identified here as single family. One's here in the city core that's going to be more row housing, more densely sort of clustered single family, not the sprawling single family uses on 10,000 square foot lots or anything like that. Over here is probably the least densely populated portion of the city in the western section here. But as you can see, within the single family neighborhood, included are there's a multifamily residential use here in the north and the south. There's also some parks here within the neighborhood. So families that live here don't necessarily need to leave the neighborhood to take their kids to a park to go play or to get out and to recreate. Also, what we have here is some neighborhood business land uses. You'd have a market down here where the families that live here in this neighborhood could go and have access to fresh food, or maybe some personal service establishments up here that are convenient there for the families that live here. What's also included in this neighborhood is a couple of schools. What's neat about this is it can be accessed here by the Greenway. Um, these families don't need to go very far to take their kids to school every day. They could let them take the Greenway to school as well. Um, Next we'll talk about the office and institutional uses and where those are located here within the city. So this section here of office and institutional uses, my idea behind that was that would be the university within the city. Um, the university in the city is affiliated with the hospital, which is located right here. Again, all accessible by the Greenway system. So any employees can get here easily, or students from anywhere in the city. These places are easily accessible by the Greenway, or obviously by the state roads, or some of these more local routes here in the city's core. But so the idea is that the university is affiliated with a hospital, and they conduct important research for them. They've got professors who are working over there, students who are completing residencies, that type of thing. Also wanted to um, place a hospital kind of centrally located within the city. Next, we'll take a look at some of these commercial uses. So, as we're talking about when we're discussing the multifamily uses, these commercial uses are they're located close to these densely populated areas, but also along these state highways. So they're accessible here by the local roads, but they also get a lot of this traffic here along the state highways, which is really good for their business. As well as these the residents that live right here are able to just come across and get the goods and the services that they need. So for amusement and entertainment, up here my idea was that this would be some sort of outdoor music venue and an amphitheater. And then over here we would have an amusement park, tall, thrilling roller coasters, and that would be fun for the residents that live here, so they don't have to go very far or leave town to have a good time. It's good to keep your residents in town and not have any leakage. It's good for your local economy. Down here close to the university, we have another smaller entertainment center. And the idea behind this would be like a bowling alley and movie theater, um, and give the students and the residents who live in this area something fun to go and do. So over here is our industrial park. The reason it is located in the southeast corner of the map is obviously for compatibility reasons. It's far more use intensive than anything going on here in the city's core. Also, it's here along the railway. So, the idea here is that this railway could possibly carry raw goods or coming from the west here, coming into town, and they could take those and use them um, to make their products and then export their products out of town here. Also, yeah, we've got two office and institutional uses down in here. This one is affiliated with the university, and the idea here is that they've got their building here, and they're doing maybe some research for this industrial park, finding those guys some new work to do, and pharmaceuticals that they again it's affiliated with a hospital, so they could make those things here locally in their close proximity to their to where they're going. So there is a lot of forest uses here within the city. This is getting kind of back to that natural resource preservation theme that's kind of important to me in my ideal city. Thinks forest land certainly has a place within a city. We need it. It's beautiful. Um, and it also provides a really nice kind of buffer between less compatible uses, or more intensive uses with residential uses and some commercial and neighborhood business uses. So down here is our agricultural district. Being in the southeast, these farmers, but I'm sure they've got chickens. They've got soybeans and sweet potatoes and corn. Well, my idea here was with the agricultural district being down here, it's kind of separation of these incompatible uses, keep the residential uses out of the way of the farmers, and keep the smells and the noises that the residents don't like down here in its own little corner. But they could come up here to the city center, this park kind of located in the middle of the city, and on the weekends there's farmer market set up here, and the farmers could come out and sell their produce and sell their eggs, and it's a nice place for all of the residents within the city to come and to meet and to purchase some of their goods there. Over here in the section of the city is a one mixed use land use classification that it did include, and it is a multifamily neighborhood business, office, and institutional use. Kind of the idea behind this is it's located within the city center of the city's core. Um, this would be for people who maybe want to live above their shops and their restaurants, So they'd certainly pull in that business from the farmers market on the weekends, while also enjoying, the business that's brought to them just for having cute shops and restaurants downtown where families want to be. So another use that I included here is the utility and transportation services. So up here is the city's, excuse me, up here is the city's water treatment plant. Down here is the city's bus station for efficiently moving people, throughout the city if they don't have a car or if they don't feel like taking the Greenway that day, or maybe it's a heavy thunderstorm summer day and they just can't get there like they'd like to. um, there's a little bit of vacant land left here in the city. The idea here is that this gives the industrial uses somewhere to go when they're growing, and the university has somewhere to go here too for the research. Say decide they expand their agricultural program at their school, and gonna need to build another building right here. So as far as where I would live here in the city, so I would live here in this multi-family district over here. I'd live there because it abuts the park. It's right on the Greenway, and it would be close to um, my place of work, which would be similar to my current place of work. I want to be a planner working in the planning department for City of China Grove. So that concludes my presentation for the City of China Grove for our city imaging project. I hope that you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.